chat, can you see where we were?
In the last
before 4th July. It's
before-
written which words we were in the
In
chat.
Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah.
Do you know, can you find out where we were?
I don't know which verse it was.
Okay.
It should be in the chat.
I didn't see it in the chat, okay. I think we should do chapter 18 because every time I open it, it comes to chapter 18.
No, I think we started
Where's
chapter
three?
18.
Yeah, we.
Where we in, now we're in 4, aren't we?
I haven't been there since
Do you remember which verse did we read?
Didn't we finish Karma Yoga? We did finish that. So now, if we're going to go in a row, we don't have to go. Chapter 4 is transcendental knowledge.
I think I remember we were talking about charity and spending, like kind of don't indulge in Maya, but do everything for Krishna, keeping him in center.
Right.
That verse.
नहीं आप उस पे चैट को लो 27
27.
27.
So we read 27.
नहीं एक मिनट
Which chapter?
Actually, by end of the class, we should just put in the Bhakti Yoga group.
I'm
That's
always
what
telling
we
myself
do.
to write it down on the
Yeah.
note, you know.
Like.
I thought I bookmarked it
in
on here, but
another
it keeps
book-
taking me to this other chapter.
Yeah. In another book reading club, by the end of the class, we always put like next week this verse, so
Yeah.
that everyone remembers.
Yes, everybody pays attention.
Gopi Prabhu is not coming.
I don't think so. He's not here yet. No, he'd be here by now.
Okay.
Very hot day for him.
Maybe 26.
On the roof.
So, Vanita.
Working outside on the roof, it's very hot.
Yeah, it is very
I
bad.
don't know what's up here.
There was a storm warning one day.
Yeah, they're staying there tomorrow.
27th का Japanese. So the last we had was on June 27th, right? That was the week before independence.
Can we just start with Medha was also not there. If somebody made a video, we can check in the video one. Oh yeah, we recorded it, right? So
Yeah.
just check in the recording because we recorded every day, right? Yes, it should be there in the recording.
I don't know if we don't say what went around now.
So can you access the recording? Because Madhuri put the link. And
You gotta go on YouTube.
Yeah, just go to the end of the recording and we'll be able to know. Yeah, that's also good. What's the name?
Recorded vid. Vid is short for video.
Record with.
Yeah.
Like, is there a specific link or record with is our name?
That's the name of the yeah.
Ooh, that's loud.
So I think we posted in the group.
Have you seen the lady on YouTube that
Just
sets
click on
like
the
6
link.
of them up and does them all at one time and gets them all done?
Yeah, just put that. Yeah, now we just put the last. Yes, and go to the end.
Cool. Isn't it fun?
I'm obsessed
You played with it.
To see on the screen what is the verse.
मैंने पहले किया है.
know, so I think you started into the next chapter,
Yes, we did.
chapter 5,
4.
4. Oh, okay.
We moved on from the third one to the fourth one.
Oh, we were still in the third, okay.
Correct.
Yeah. I remember third.
Okay.
Like King Devon. Chapter 3
And
was
I
still.
read the first one. And then after me, did I say this one? You were, no, you did not.
No, I read, I did something else. I don't think you read it.
I think
So,
Carl,
so chapter 4, text 2? If you look at it, will you be able to remember?
I read text 1. Can you just
We
open
can
text
begin
1?
with text.
Can you
two
open
then.
text 1 if okay?
Which
Chapter
one?
Chapter
4.
4, text 1 missing that we remember.
Correct. Go to text 1 maybe.
Text 1, text 1.
Go down, go down.
Yeah, somebody just said karma
I read
yoga.
this, so this was the longest one. This is what I read. Now go to the next one. This is something I think we read. Go to the next one.
I think we stopped with the. There was.
Yeah,
I
just wanna see the
remember
next one
someone
and
reading a long paragraph and we
Oh,
stopped
so
it.
chapter 4, she read the last verse. What was her name? She read the last verse because she said that thus ends the Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. She said that.
4. But this is chapter 4, verse 1.
See, if I will make it loud, then you can listen what she said.
I don't know, I kind of remember this one about being a warning about misleading paths once you try to follow the specific succession plan Arjuna.
Yep, I think this one.
I remember that. Okay, that's, oh yeah, 4 is the next one.
So we need to start from chapter 5.
I kind of thought that's where we were.
Yeah,
Chapter
4
five.
chapter
I
is
thought,
done.
I thought, because I know I wasn't here that week, but I think there was only
Yeah, chapter 4.
enough left that you would have finished.
Yeah, chapter 4 is done, yes.
Yeah.
So we will start chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Let's start.
Okay, done.
Karthik, you
Wait, how
want
are
to
we
go?
at chapter 5?
Yeah.
There's no way we're at chapter 5. 100%. Like I read chapter 4 verse 1. That's for sure. The longest one.
Because the girl, she read chapter 4 verse, last verse, and she said thus ends the chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. She just said in the video.
Is that what it says at the end of the chapter?
Yeah, it says that in the end of every chapter.
Wait, what's the name? Show me the thing. This is the last one. So I can probably hear me reading the longest one. No, she did not read the last one. She would have said thus ends the chapter 3 because I was sitting right
It's
next to
okay.
her and I started chapter 4.
It's okay, we can always go back individually and find things if we think we missed them.
Just
Just see if you read after.
Yeah, so Karma Yoga is about which chapter, Mataji?
Chapter 5. Karma Yoga is chapter 5.
Chapter 3?
Chapter
Karma Yoga is
Karma
3?
Yoga is chapter 5.
That's the one we did, but see, Karma Yoga comes up again in chapter 5.
After
Okay.
3, there might be again on 5 something.
Now it's Karma Yoga,
Okay,
actually
then
Krishna
let's,
consciousness.
so you read chapter 4 verse 1, then yeah, let's do chapter. After
See,
you do
chapter
I
something-
mean,
three
this
is
is probably
Karma
better
Yoga.
because it teaches us more of what we're,
So chapter 4.
we kind of know Karma Yoga in life.
Yeah, but we finished chapter 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, chapter 3 is done, and he's telling like that Karma Yoga she said was chapter 3. So we will have to, he read 4 chapter verse 1, and after you did someone read? Then let's start with chapter 4 verse 2.
Okay.
Just remember we read about Manu, Vikhabu, we read about
Full on. She's in that
I know,
zone now.
she's doing, she's in her.
She's going to become our next yoga teacher, healer. She will go directly to Bali now.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I was gonna say she's gonna go in the cave and
Yeah.
come out of the cave later.
Seriously, hypnotize. She's hypnotizing us. Ujjwal, do you remember which verse we are at? Did we finish
Oh,
chapter
no,
4?
don't start it again.
No, I'm just confirming. We sometimes remember.
I think third chapter lost.
Okay, third chapter
Okay.
ended, fourth is.
Yes.
We're gonna do
So-
4, and now we're gonna start remembering.
Okay, Karthik, chapter 4, verse 2.
So first we
So
start
let's
with-
do this.
Or Karthik. This is a very techy solution, but what you can do is you can just go to history, look up the date and the last verse to open.
Which one?
Go to your browser history,
But I
look up the
guess
date, and you'll get the last verse you opened up.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the best way you can get it.
But if Sachin presented a video.
So you want to start with reading Bhagavad Gita first?
No,
No, no, no.
He said you can go and look
Whose
up.
laptop did we
search
use last
history,
time?
blah, blah, blah. But I guess it's fine. He also said that we ended chapter 3.
Because
You
last
started
time it
with
was my laptop.
No, no, so what I'm saying is
Such
you go to
a good
history, you go to your browser history, and if you look up the date,
The last.
and you'll get it. The date should
That's true.
be
Yeah,
Yeah.
26th. Just
wanna
go to
put it with
26th.
something else?
27,
the date
27
should be
to
27, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the browser history.
You wanna pick one?
There you
play
go.
with.
I am sorry.
Let's go.
But I don't think that's the time.
You want one of these?
I want something new.
Okay, where do you want the drum? You want this drum?
Oh, that's
You wanna try the drum? Yeah. Let's see, you wanna try something cool?
Sure, I don't know.
What, I have a bigger size too.
So, chapter 7.
I don't know if those will be good. Yeah, she's really awesome.
The focus one is what he has said. Check.
पता चल गया ना?
So he
You got to know,
So
right?
he's correct. Chapter 4 का first तो he read.
But
That
after
was
that
the
nobody read.
No.
Okay, then let's read the part 2. Start. पूरा टाइम वेस्ट हो गया बहुत यार इसमें. जल्दी करो जल्दी. Let's start. Karthik, go.
श्री गुरु प्रणाम ओम ज्ञानस्मरणस्य ज्ञानाचक्षुर्न्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोविष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहागना रघुनाथमितं तं सजीवं तद्वैतं सवादुतं परिजानसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहागना ललिता श्रीविशगान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे
You wanna try this one?
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने
Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namaste
जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी
जय
राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधवा
Actually, we should read and then we'll do this. Because Radha Madhav is always done before starting reading.
So we'll start the reading.
Yeah. You want? You got it, right? Yeah, he got kartas.
Oh, you bought cartel?
Yes.
Oh, nice, oh, good.
And you have that new thing, right? You got, yeah, that's better. We have so many instruments, yeah,
I
that's
know.
nice.
Good.
Okay, let's start.
एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम
एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम
इमां राजर्षयो विदु
इमां राजर्षयो विदु
सकलीन महता
सकलेनेह महता
Yogo Nastaha Parantapa.
Yogo Nashtaha Parantapa.
His supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in the course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Purport. It is clearly stated that Gita was especially meant for the saintly kings because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens. Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for demonic persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. As soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment also, there are so many editions of Gita, especially in English, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. There are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars, but almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. Although they make a good business out of the words of Sri Krishna, this spirit is demonic because Indians do not believe in God, but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English, as it is received by Parampara, disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great one. Bhagavad Gita accepted as it is a great boon to humanity, but if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculation, it is simply a waste of time. So I guess what they're trying to say is that if you are reading Bhagavad Gita, you have to execute it as it is. I mean, you have to try and understand it as it is, what they're trying to say. Because many a time, since we exist in the materialistic world, I guess the knowledge we have or what we have been perceiving so far, it makes us interpret it in our own way. And there are many people who interpret it in the way they want to for their own benefit. I feel whenever many people talk about Bhagavad Gita, they don't know the actual meaning of it. They are talking about it from their own whatever
Baggage.
they understood. But I feel they have half-baked information, and that's actually a waste of time, because you can either know something or you can either not know something. But then having a half-baked knowledge about something is
Little knowledge is dangerous.
If you learn it the wrong way, then you
So I guess that's what they're trying to say, that so in Hindi, in India, parampara is basically something that has been followed for years.
Disciplic
Together.
succession.
It's kind of a heritage or a tradition that's passed on to
Yes.
generations,
Knowledge.
and I think the Lord himself detected that over a period of time after Mahabharata, slowly as Kali Yuga began and everything happened, the true meaning of Bhagavad Gita has gotten lost.
kind of lost.
Yeah,
right?
nobody knows the true meaning of it
Right.
and what Krishna is trying to say. So
Right. But that's what Prabhupada gives us all the exact translations from the Sanskrit. So we get a better version of this. Because it's amazing how you can change one word and it could mean something completely different, right?
And we also sometimes have to understand the context, right? Because I know, like, I don't think there are a lot in Bhagavad Gita, but there can be some scriptures where there are some things which were kind of written in that context, in
day,
that,
time,
age,
place, and circumstance.
in that time and
Yeah.
circumstance, and they might be like, for example, as simple as if something is said like about women and their position in the society, there can be feminist women who will be like, no,
Oh,
we
yeah,
don't
it's really
accept
wrong.
this, or
Right.
they might
I
get,
had that problem.
offended. But they have to understand that where they are coming from,
Yes.
where they are actually trying to say something according to that society, and then we have to kind of map that
Yes.
according to today's society.
Yes.
And then, because I think the essence is still same,
Yeah.
I still believe, like, even in this modern age, I know that, there are certain, at least personally, I feel there are certain things which women are good at
Mhm.
and women should do, and there are certain things which they are not good at, and if they do, of course they can be successful, but there can be other implications, there can be harmful effects on their health, on their mental state, on their femininity, right?
Mhm.
So it's really like very deep. It's not like nobody is saying that women cannot do anything. Women can do, but what exactly they achieve by doing that, finally, we have to look at the whole, the bigger picture.
Really, what are they doing? Because talking about spiritual life, which is a lot deeper
Yeah.
than what most of the women's movement are all more of a material thing. I want to be, I want to do a job like they do, I want to do
Yeah.
this, I want to do that. We get down into spiritual things. And in the end, in the beginning, I was like that, because I read like, a woman's brain is smaller than a man's. No, I don't think so. That was a hard one. Certain things were very difficult because I kind of had a hard time with certain men that weren't very smart. But then after a while, it got to be very nice to not even think about that and with the top over and just go in and do what I was doing and not have anybody bugging me. There was
Yeah.
no relationship building or no things, and it got to be very messed up.
Yeah, and I
To
feel like
keep it simple, but
that's so true. I think science also backs those things. It's not even just women.
No.
I feel like your epigenetics, like if there is a family in which everybody has been a musician,
Yeah.
there is a very high chance that the child, their left brain will be more active, they will be more creative, they might end up being musician or being in the art field. But that doesn't mean that their brain is superior than the others.
Exactly.
It's just genetics. So if women from 1,000 or million years did not do something where you are activating your brain, it might happen even with the whole evolution that their brain might become smaller. So I think it's not even so complicated to understand these things. Men never complain like, oh, why God, why we are not emotional, or why we are less emotional. They never complain. I think for women, the society really fed into their mind that that you are inferior, and then they started kind of revolting everything and being rebellious. But yeah, like there are so many things which men can also complain.
yes, exactly.
स एवायं मायातेद्या
स एवायं मया तेद्या
योगा प्रोक्त पुरातनः
योगा प्रोक्ता पुरातना
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति
रहस्यम् एताद् उत्तमम्
रहस्यम् एतद् उत्तमम्.
Translation. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Purport. There are two classes of men, namely the devotee and the demon. The Lord selected Arjun as a recipient of this great science owing to his being a devotee of the Lord. But for the demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. There are a number of editions of this great book of knowledge. Some of them have commentaries by the devotees and some of them have commentaries by the demons. Commentation by the devotees is real, whereas that of the demons is useless. Arjun accepts Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and any commentary on the Gita following in the footsteps of Arjun is real devotional service to the cause of this great science. The demonic, however, do not accept Lord Krishna as he is. Instead, they concoct something about Krishna and mislead general readers from the path of Krishna's instructions. Here is a warning about such misleading paths. One should try to follow the disciplic succession from Arjun and thus be benefited by this great science of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
us, right, that if somebody is reading Bhagavad Gita without faith in Lord, then they won't be able to
They won't
understand.
understand. I've seen versions where it's like poetry. Oh, this is the most beautiful poetry. Yeah, well, there's a lot more to it than just poetry.
Yeah, I know. Some will be like, this is mythology.
Yeah.
Like the mythology is like
Yeah.
nowadays people really, really hate that word in India because they are like, you know, like it's bad that you are creating this word in a totally different language for something which doesn't even belong to you. Like, of course, I'm sure this word is coming from English and mostly from Britishers. And who are they to decide if it is a myth or not? Like they think all this is myth.
Yeah.
That's why it's mythology.
Well, it's no hard as a plain like that to see.
Yeah.
Have the feeling about it.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate part is even we from so many years have used the same word unknowingly.
Yes.
You know?
At times, yeah.
And even so many people still use that word. But when you really start thinking about it, it feels really bad. Even for Krishna, they never say God, they always say Lord. There's a big difference between Lord and God.
Yeah, it's true.
In I think in some countries they will, even if there is a very great person, they will call him Lord. Does it mean that Krishna is just a person?
That's what you're trying to say.
What do you want to read next?
Maybe on 4.
Yes.
Aparam Bhavato Janama Param Janama Janma
Aparam bhavato janma param janma
Vivastava Kathamam Etad Vijani Yam Tavam Edu Prokatvan Iti.
Vivastvata katham itad vigyanyam tvam adau proktavan iti.
Arjuna said, the sun god, Vistavan, is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the science to him? Purport. Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord, so how could he not believe Krishna's words? The fact that Arjuna is not inquiring for himself, but for those who do not believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or for the demons who do not like the idea that Krishna should be accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For them, only Arjuna inquires on this point, as if he were himself not aware of the personality of Godhead, or Krishna. As it will be evident from the 10th chapter, Arjuna knew perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of everything, and the last word in transcendence. Of course, Krishna also appeared as the son of Devaki on this earth. How Krishna remained the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, the eternal, the original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjuna put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. That Krishna is the supreme authority accepted by the whole world, not only at present, but from time immemorial. And the demons alone reject him. Anyway, since Krishna is the authority accepted by all, Arjuna put this question before him in order that Krishna would describe himself without being depicted by the demons who always try to distort him in a way understandable to the demons and their followers. It is necessary that everyone, for his own interest, know the science of Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna himself speaks about himself, it is auspicious for all the worlds. To the demons, such explanations by Krishna himself may appear to be strange, because the demons always study Krishna from their own standpoint. But those who are devotees heartily welcome the statements of Krishna when they are spoken by Krishna himself. The devotees will always worship such authoritative statements of Krishna because they are always eager to know more and more about him. The atheists, who consider Krishna as an ordinary man, may in this way come to know that Krishna is superhuman. He is Sat, Sid, Ananda, Vigra, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge, that he is transcendental, that he is above the domination of modes of material nature and above the influence of time and space. A devotee of Krishna, like Arjuna, is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Arjuna's putting this question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the devotee to defy the atheistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being, subjects to the modes of material nature.
So Arjuna is trying to get back for a while. And explaining how to met the person that you meet. Which is good, because then it goes into Krishna telling us, okay, now tell us what we say to these people that we meet that save us.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is normal, right? Somebody will say, oh, Krishna was so younger to sun god. Then how did Krishna tell everything to sun god? Right? Because Krishna was born after sun god.
Yeah, that's what it said there.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why he's clarifying that, because he knows that the world which comes in future, they will all read this and listen to this. So he's clarifying all these things for us.
Yes.
श्री भगवान उवाच
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि
Bahuni me vyatitani
जन्मानि तव चार्जुन
Janmani tava Arjuna
तानि अहं वेद सर्वाणि
Tani aham veda sarvani
न त्वं वेत्त परन्तप
Natvam veda parantapa.
The personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer obey me. In the Brahma Samhita 5.33, we have information of many incarnations of the Lord. It is stated that Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Avyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person, absolute, infallible, without beginning. Although expanded into unlimited forms, he is still the same original, the oldest, and the person always appearing as a fresh youth. Such eternal, graceful, all-knowing forms of the Lord are usually not understood by even the best Vedic scholars, but they are always manifest to the pure, unalloyed devotees. It is also stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.39, Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Amena Tishtham Nanavataram Akarut Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramaptu Manyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Krishna, who is always situated in various incarnations such as Rama, Nrisimha, and many sub-incarnations as well, but who is the original personality of Godhead known as Krishna, who incarnates personally also. In the Vedas also it is said that the Lord, although one without a second, manifests himself in innumerable forms. He is like the Vaidurya stone, which changes color yet still remains one. All those multi-forms are understood by the pure unalloyed devotees, but not by a simple study of the Vedas. Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakti. Devotees like Arjuna are constant companions of the Lord, and whenever the Lord incarnates, they associate devotees also incarnate in order to serve the Lord in different capacities. Arjuna is one of these devotees, and this verse it is understood that some millions of years ago, when Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to the sun god Vivaswan, Arjuna in a different capacity was also present. But the difference between the Lord and Arjuna is that the Lord remembered the ancient incident, whereas Arjuna could not remember. That is the difference between the part and parcel living entity and the Supreme Lord. Although Arjuna is addressed here as the mighty hero who could subdue enemies, he is unable to recall what had happened in his previous past births. Therefore, a living entity, however great he may be in material estimation, can never equal the Supreme Lord. Anyone who is constant companion of the Lord is certainly a liberated person, but he cannot be equal to the Lord. The Lord is described in the Brahma Samhita as infallible, Achyuta, which means that he never forgets himself, even though he is in material contact. Therefore, the Lord and the living entity can never be equal in all respects, even if the living entity is liberated as Arjuna. Although Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord, he sometimes forgets the nature of the Lord. But by the divine grace, a devotee can at once understand the infallible condition of the Lord, whereas a non-devotee or a demon cannot understand his transcendental nature. Consequently, these descriptions in the Gita cannot be understood by the demonic brains. Krishna remembered acts which were performed by him millions of years before, but Arjuna could not, despite the fact that both Krishna and Arjuna are eternal in nature. We may also note herein that a living entity forgets everything due to his change of body, but the Lord remembers because he does not change his Satchidananda body. He is Advaita, which means there is no distinction between his body and himself. Everything in relation to him is spirit, whether the conditioned soul is different from his natural body, whereas the conditioned soul is different from his natural body. And because the Lord's body and self are identical, his position is always different from the ordinary living entity, even when he descends to the material plane. The demons cannot adjust themselves to this transcendental nature of the Lord, which the Lord himself explains in the following verse.
We have this here.
So many things actually follow.
That's the difficult thing when you.
Yeah, one who reads this sometimes don't remember what they read.
Yeah,
I
well,
have
the
felt
beginning
that.
part was okay. I thought of
Yeah.
something in the beginning, but here at the end there, the one thing I remember about preaching sometimes, the difficult part is to get these other people to understand that Krishna, he's not his body, he is everything, he knows everything. The only difference is we don't know, we only know him. They have a very hard time because then they have to accept him as the Supreme Lord or accept him. And that is difficult, especially in this country, with people that don't want anything to do with God because then they have to do something.
Yes.
You know, they want to just be free.
Free, yeah. Yep, that is so true.
Knowing that they're not free and they never will be.
I sometimes also feel, like people have started, and it's like, I think now it is in almost every country, they've started becoming so nuclear, so introvert. I think it's also kind of a result of them not trying to be responsible for anyone and not, being dependent or emotionally attached on anyone. Because I think there are so many people who feel like if they are attached to others, even their families, their families have the control of hurting them.
Yeah.
Their families have the control of affecting them.
Yeah.
So they have started, escaping the world and being only in their own room or in their own kind of tunnel vision, And I think that sometimes help, but in the long run, I think it doesn't help because when you need someone, you don't have anybody. Men are social animals. We cannot live alone. We are not meant to live alone because I think one Maharaj, he was telling that the sole purpose of our soul is to love.
Yeah, Krishna
We
is
have,
one.
that's Satchidananda, right? So our main purpose in this world is to love. And if we don't have anybody whom we can love, we will go crazy.
Yeah.
And we will not be happy. In long run, we will have, our body will start resenting and, we will have all the bad effects, I feel.
And that's a lot of times you can see
Yeah.
that's why some people
Because we are
do
not
very
able to
bad
express
things.
that love for others. Sometimes, loving others is not for ourselves, it's for others.
Yeah.
and it's also for us in the long run.
The more you serve, the better you feel.
That's the same thing with forgiveness, right? Like there are so many research which says that people who are not able to forgive others and they have that resentment, they get really chronic illness in long term. So forgiveness is not for others, it is for yourself. You want to forgive others so that you have, for me at least, oh my God, I really need to, forgive others. Otherwise it starts affecting me.
The more I'm just like people, the more, or I'm just like me.
Yeah. And I also like the fact that, so one time I myself asked some Maharaj that, why do we not remember anything from the past birth? And he was like, just imagine, if you remember something which was traumatic, right? You have so much baggage.
Oh, yeah.
Your whole life
We were animals,
will be
we were-
affected. Yeah.
I mean,
If we were animals and somebody just killed us and ate us, and just realizing and remembering that, that will be such a big trauma for this life. So it's unfair. It's the same thing like they say, right? If you go, it's a very bad, I think, analogy, but if you go in a new relation, never go with your baggage, right? So it's the same thing. If you are going in a new life, never go with your baggage. Otherwise, your new life will be affected very badly. Because I'm 100% sure if we are in this material world, we did not have a good life in our past life. If we have such a good life that we want to remember, then we will not be in the material world. Then we will be with God,
or we'll
right?
not be like this, right?
Yeah. So I think it's, then I understood, yeah, this is correct. That, and I know a lot of people go through hypnotherapy and all. I'm very scared for the same reason. I feel like, do I really want to remember
Do you really
things
want to
from my
remember?
past birth?
That's what one, I do remember that that's kind of what Prabhupada said originally. People were asking him, well, what about our other lives? I'm like, can't you tell us, can we go? And he goes, I could, but you don't really want to know that.
Yeah.
Do you really want to know that you were something really bad and why you were here? Because
Yeah.
there's millions and thousands and thousands of lives.
Yeah.
We have no idea how long we've been going on. Even Arjuna, when he went on, he sometimes forgets the nature of the world, by graces.
Yeah.
We're lucky that Krishna has kind of touched us all and said, okay, you guys are okay, you listen and you'll be okay. And we are.
I know even with meditation, like I know like we do our chanting and we concentrate on Krishna, but there has been so many forms of meditation. I know so many people, like there is something called Mind Valley and there are some other organizations. They are really tapping into our brain and all these, alpha, beta, gamma levels. I'm so scared to even do that. Like, do you really want to tap into that?
Yeah.
You never know what your brain will become, and like all your childhood trauma will start creeping
yeah,
up.
I know.
It is dangerous, sometimes to meddle with those things.
I think it is something.
Yeah, so I feel like
And
our
I don't
form
know,
of
I don't know
meditation
if
is
I'm
best.
just making it up.
Yeah,
I mean, how do I really know that exactly what you're saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because that's why our meditation is more like not focusing just on ourselves and our brain and our emotions, but focusing on Krishna.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's very safe. Yeah.
You have to get to know, get to the root of what trauma is. Trauma happens because you're not able to resolve something. Meditation is a way which you get better understanding. So I don't really think unless you take some deadly substance or do some physical changes to your body, I don't think it's harmful.
I think normal meditation, I also agree. But these people, they are doing meditation for 3 hours, 4 hours, and they are doing these additional things to go to that alpha, beta, gamma level. That is too much, Anything in excess is bad, I feel.
The different waves, I think, they are a result of, even in your sleep, you go into when you go to deep sleep, I think you go into a different set of waves. So meditation, I think what they are teaching is consciously trying to get you to that state. I don't think it's
To do that while you're awake?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So,
That makes sense. Certain kinds of meditation.
I like the concept of mindfulness because I know a lot of people, they are always, multitasking, and they don't try to take a pause and understand their emotions. That's what you are telling, right? Like understand why you are feeling certain way. But I feel anything. I think this is a rule of thumb with everything. If you over engineer anything, if you overthink anything, I feel like there is a balance which should be there, even with meditation. Because all the saints, all the Maharaj, Rishis, they did meditate, but they meditated on God. Nobody was like, meditating without putting Krishna or God in the center. Or at least whatever their philosophy was, they were meditating on that. They were not trying to do something only for themselves.
I think the concept of Brahman is doesn't have any it's nirguna, meaning doesn't have any characteristics. So God in its ultimate form, you can meditate on just the Brahman which is non-characteristic.
But I don't think we, at least Bhakti Yoga, we don't promote Shunyavad. We don't promote that philosophy of meditating on zero.
Like you're just going over and over and over the same thing. And going into it.
Like that might work for some people, but I don't know.
It can be a stage, I mean, people have different stages.
You certainly need a guidance in order to interpret what you are
And
experiencing.
you need a teacher of
That's
some
why
kind.
Prabhupada's teaching or any other enlightened guru's teaching is important.
Right. Yes, the sitting by yourself and not really studying anything or having a teacher. You just go off in your own little mind thing, which we see sometimes what people are doing is just kind of causing a lot of trouble. But most people, at least if they have a teacher or a guru or some kind, they've got some kind of, stopper or some kind of,
Yeah.
some kind of guidance, basically.
Yes,
So
guidance.
they don't make up this whole thing all on their own.
I think in the beginning, any form of meditation is definitely going to help.
Yes.
Some meditation is better than nothing. But I think in the long run, I feel like, meditating on God helps more, at least for me.
Yes.
Because then you can concentrate more. It's just like same thing when you are studying. When you have a syllabus, you know how much you have to study, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a syllabus, then it's like open-ended.
Just open it, if you're gonna go on forever.
Yeah. You want to read?
Raja, the son of
Aja peace
Bhutanam Iswaro his son.
Bhutanam Ishvaro Abhi Son.
Prakritim Swam Adistya.
Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya. Scroll fast.
Particular to scroll.
You can complete it.
Yeah.
Sambhavami Atma Mayaya.
Sambhavami Atma Mayaya.
Translation. Although I'm unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I'm the lord of all living entities, but by my internal energy I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form, the perfect. The Lord has spoken about the peculiarity of his bird. Although he may appear like an ordinary person, he remembers everything of his many, many past words, whereas a common man cannot remember what he has done even a few hours before. If someone is asked what he did exactly the same time one day earlier, it will be very difficult for a common man to answer immediately. He would surely have to dredge his memory to recall what he was doing exactly the same time one day before, and yet men often dare claim to be God or Krishna. One should not be misled by such meaningless claims. Then again, the Lord explains his prakriti or his form. Prakriti means nature as well as swarup or one's own form. The Lord says that he appears in his own body. He does not change his body as the common living entity changes from one body to another. A conditioned soul may have one kind of body in the present birth, but he has a different body in the next birth. In In the material world, the living entity has no fixed body but transmigrates from one body to another. The Lord, however, does not do so. Whenever he appears, he does so in the same original body by his internal potency. In the other words, Krishna appears in this material world in his original eternal form with two hands holding a flute. He appears exactly in his eternal body, uncontaminated by this material world. Although he appears in the same transcendental body and as Lord of the universe, it still appears that he takes his birth like an ordinary living entity. Although his body does not deteriorate like a material body, it still appears that Lord Krishna goes from childhood to boyhood and from boyhood to youth. But astonishingly enough, he never ages beyond youth. At the time of the battle of Kurukshetra, he had many grandchildren at home, or in other words, he had sufficiently aged by material calculations. Still, he looked just like a young man, 20 or 25 years old. We never see a picture of Krishna in his old age because he never grows old like us, although he's the oldest person in the whole creation, past, present, and future. Neither his body nor his intelligence ever deteriorates or changes. Therefore, it is clear that in spite of his being in the material world, he is the same unborn, eternal form of bliss and knowledge, changeless in his transcendental body and intelligence. Factually, his appearance and disappearance are like the sun's rising, moving before us and then disappearing from our eyesight. When the sun is out of sight, we think that the sun has set, and when the sun is before our eyes, we think that the sun is on the horizon. Actually, the sun is always in its fixed position, but owing to our defective, insufficient senses, we calculate the appearance and disappearance of the sun in the sky. And because Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are completely different from that of any ordinary common living entity, it is evident that he is eternal, visible knowledge by his internal potency, and he is never contaminated by material nature. The Vedas also confirm that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unborn yet. He still appears to take his birth in multi-manifestations. The Vedic supplementary literatures also confirm that even though the Lord appears to be taking his birth, he is still without change of body. In this Bhagavatam, he appears before his mother as Narayana with 4 hands and the decorations of the 6 kinds of opulences. His appearance in his original eternal form is his causeless mercy bestowed upon living entities so that they can all concentrate on the Supreme Lord as he is and not on the mental compositions or imaginations which the impersonalist wrongly thinks of the Lord's form to be. The word Maya or Atma Maya refers to the Lord's causeless mercy according to the Vishwakosa dictionary. The Lord is conscious of all his previous appearances and disappearances, but a common living entity forgets everything about his past body as soon as he gets another body. He's the Lord of all living entities because he performs wonderful and superhuman activities while he's on this earth. Therefore, the Lord is always the same absolute truth and is without differentiation from his former himself or between his quality and body. A question may now be raised as to why the Lord appears and disappears in this world. This is explained in the next verse.
It's getting a little technical.
I remembered about that instance when I think Yashoda, right? She was asking Krishna because Krishna was eating like soil or something, and she asked, "What is in your mouth? What is in your mouth? Open your mouth." And he opened the mouth, and she saw the whole universe, and she fainted because she was like, oh, she got shocked. But later, when she actually was in her senses, she did not remember anything. Somebody asked God, "Why did you do like that? Like, why did she lose the memory of that?" And I think God replied that because it will be injustice to her because she thinks of me like her son. And if she thinks of me like a lord, she will lose her son because she will not be able to love me and treat me like a son. And she did so much pious work in her past birth. That's why she had Krishna
That's what
as
she
the
wanted.
son.
Her desire
That's why
was
she
to be
wanted.
the
That's what
mother
she
of God.
wanted. So it would be injustice to her. Yeah. That's true.
There's also a big difference between, I guess Prabhupada uses the word demon a lot. I don't use demon so much because here it's got such a bad connotation. Like we'll say materialist or non-food. They have a very hard time and they can't say, what do you mean God just keeps appearing and he's a kid over this time and he's the Shringaname at this time and he's, this time, how can he be doing all that? And I said, because he's God.
Yeah.
He can do it.
Yeah, he can do anything.
That's what makes him
whatever is necessary
God.
for
And,
humanity.
and I always ask, well, what's your interpretation? What does God mean to you? What,
Yeah.
That's, and they usually do have some kind of definition, like, well, he knows everything, he does everything, he's the head of everything. Or they'll say, I don't believe in God. I don't know. Okay, then you think this all just happened to come down. They kind of get stopped there. Some people do.
Maybe we talk about extraterrestrials.
Pardon? Extraterrestrials, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was surprised because I was in a Uber yesterday, and of course that person was like, I think, a very kind of God-abiding person, because he was all the time he was listening to, I think, some stories from Bible,
Yeah.
and he had this card he gave me. But I'm always interested. I'm not like somebody I will be like, oh, I don't want to listen. I am always interested in
Sure.
listening, and I was shocked because it had exact story like Prahlad and. Narsinghadev, but also Holika.
Yeah.
Holika and Hiranyakashipu. So the story was that I think the story was, instead of fire, I guess it was like oil. So it was a big pot of burning oil, and somebody, he believed in God so much, and they were very angry on him because he believed in God, and they put him in the oil, and he started chanting the name of Jesus or God, and nothing happened to him. And I'm like, what? This is exact story. Because Prahlad, Holika put him into the fire and he started chanting the name of God and he didn't get burned. So I was like, wow, maybe it's like, because they are like different countries, it's the same story. Because in old age, everything was like a folk story, right? One person, something will happen, one person will start talking about that story, and that's how it will propagate. So I think maybe it's like we are all talking about the same God, and the story, just the character name is different,
Yeah.
the name of the God is different. I was very surprised by that story, that, oh my God, how can it be so similar? That instead of fire, it's just the hot oil.
Yeah.
But the context is so same. So yeah. It was nice. So yeah, like I am sure you already knew this story, but I can say, like, there's so many things when they say, like, oh, how can God appear and disappear and all that. Even Jesus, he came back, right? After his death.
Yes, 3 days.
Yeah, and they believe it, right?
He showed he wasn't his body,
Yeah. They all have like similar stories.
And he brought people back. I mean, there's some Lazarus story about a man that died and was covered in
Yeah.
some kind of leprosy or whatever
Yes,
those things
yeah,
are.
yeah,
And he died, and everyone was lamenting because he wasn't devoted.
yeah.
And Jesus picked him up and brought him back. And said,
Yeah.
"Okay,
In childhood, I used to watch
Turn
these episodes. Like, I used to watch TV and I used to watch these series about Jesus. And I saw there was a girl who was blind, and he came and he touched her, and she was able to see. Yeah, after that.
But if we tell them these stories,
Yeah, they would
have
try
a hard
to.
time
Yeah, so
thinking.
it's a bias. It's
Sometimes
just
they have
bias.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do.
I think we should also look into the underlying similarity, like you mentioned, Shika. I think that's what is underlying is bhakti.
Yes.
So, also in
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says whatever form you worship, that
Yes.
ultimately comes to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Comes to God. So I think
Yeah.
what is important is the bhakti that you have. in
Faith.
Bhakti Gita.
Yeah.
Faith in God. Yeah.
That's true.
Only way changing.
Yeah.
Way changing. Depends
Yes.
on person to person.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we shouldn't get caught up on the minor details like earlier you mentioned the God,
Yeah.
things like that.
Mm.
You don't have to stress about all these things. Oh, why are we studying Gita for?
Yeah.
For our personal journey in the life to better at
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
and all the bank details. So
Yeah.
They take care of themselves.
Yeah,
whether
even
we get Allah or Jesus or Krishna.
yes, yeah, exactly. Say different names. Yeah. Also, like I think Prabhupada also said that it's not even necessary that everybody has to do the same thing. There can be people who love to cook prasad. There can be people who like to distribute books. Some people want to give rights to the devotees.
Mhm.
Some people would want to organize things. Some people would want to, clean the space. Like according to their nature, some people would want to chant more.
Mhm.
Some people would want to read more. So according to their nature, they can take the path.
Mhm.
But the path ultimately goes to Krishna.
As long as you're offering everything out. to
Yeah,
God.
yeah, putting him in the center.
Yeah, but I mean, this is for God.
Yeah, so we can read the next one. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अभ्युत्थानं धर्मस्य
अभ्युत्थानं धर्मस्य
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
This is a very famous one.
Yeah.
We always listen to this one. Yeah. Translation. Yeah, this is a famous one, right? Yeah. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So this is a very good thing to tell your friends,
Yeah.
that God descends whenever there is irreligion, whenever we need Him.
I keep thinking, okay, let's go, come on.
Purport. The word Srijami is significant herein. Srijami cannot be used in the sense of creation because according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all of the forms are eternally existent. Therefore, Srijami means that the Lord manifests Himself as He is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, or the 28th millennial of the 7th Manu in one day of Brahma, He has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations. Because He is completely free to act in many ways at His will, He therefore appears by His own will whenever there is a predominance of irreligiosity and a disappearance of true religion. Principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. The Vedas are also accepted originally spoken by the Lord Himself to Brahma from within His heart. Therefore, the principles of dharma or religion are the direct orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam tu shakshad bhagavad pranitam. These principles are clearly indicated throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Vedas is to establish such principles under the order of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord directly orders at the end of the Gita that the highest principle of religion is to surrender unto Him only and nothing more. The Vedic principles push one towards complete surrender unto Him, and whenever such principles are disturbed by the demoniac, the Lord appears. From the Bhagavatam, we understand that Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Krishna, who appeared when materialism was rampant and materialists were using the pretext of the authority of the Vedas. Although there are certain restrictive rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purposes in the Vedas, people of demoniac tendencies still took to animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. Lord Buddha appeared in order to stop this nonsense and to establish the Vedic principles of non-violence. Therefore, each and every avatara or incarnation of the Lord has a particular mission, and they are all described in the revealed scriptures. No one should be accepted as an avatar unless he is referred to by scriptures. It is not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can manifest Himself anywhere and everywhere and whenever He desires to appear. In each and every incarnation, He speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. But the mission is the same, to lead people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of the religion. Sometimes he dissents personally, and sometimes he sends his bona fide representative in the form of his son or servant, or himself in some disguised form. The principles of the Bhagavad Gita were spoken to Arjuna, and for that matter to other highly elevated persons, because he was highly advanced compared to ordinary persons in other parts of the world. 2 plus 2 equals 4 is a mathematical principle that is true in the beginner's arithmetic class and in the advanced class as well. Still, there are higher and lower mathematics. In all incarnations of the Lord, therefore, the same principles are taught, but they appear to be higher and lower in varied circumstances. The higher principles of religion begin with the acceptance of the 4 orders and the 4 statuses of social life, as will be explained later. The whole purpose of the mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Such consciousness is manifest and non-manifest only under different circumstances. Yeah. I think we already discussed, right? Like he descends at different places. I also like that line where it is like he descends to different places according to the people in
Yes.
that part of the world, you
Right.
know? And
That's right.
that's why it is so different in different parts of the world. Like there can be some dissimilarity, but I think there is lot of similarity which we actually don't see, which we ignore.
Because we don't learn all
Yeah,
the other
because when I was in that cab for like 10 minutes, but I could see so much similarity. But if somebody is hellbound on trying to create differences and dissimilarity, then
They wouldn't see it.
they will only see the dissimilarity.
Can you pull it up a little bit?
Yeah.
No, I meant the other way.
The
Down a little bit, I'm
yes.
sorry. Okay, stop.
Stop.
He speaks about much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances.
Yeah.
So each of these different groups, because, and that's why we're born
Yeah.
here or there or everywhere, you know,
Yeah.
to where, you know, part of our, besides our karma or whatever, there's also that to help us go on there.
Yeah.
But it is all the same.
And
But the
I-
mission is the same,
Yeah.
to lead people to God consciousness.
I also liked, I think maybe Madhuri, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere or somebody told that if there is a place where there is no way you can actually grow vegetables, Prabhupada never stopped them to eat, you know, like because they have to survive.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you have to eat anything for your survival, not for your sense pleasure.
Yes.
If you have all the grains, all the
He said the
vegetables,
reason we
everything
follow this is
available in the
because-
world.
He said, the reason partly why we follow this is why not? It's, we have it right here, it's very
Yeah.
easy to do.
Yeah.
But if you can't in another situation.
Yeah, and that was the case. I think there were so many countries where there was no way to grow anything, and they started eating certain things for their survival.
Yeah.
But it's not the case anymore. Still, if there is somebody who has a very big deficiency or cannot survive without something, I don't think anybody will stop them in their right mind, you know. But that's the thing. Like we shouldn't misuse those things.
I've been reading recently where Krishna says, Prabhupada said, Krishna doesn't expect you to be perfect.
Yeah.
We're here, you know, we're definitely not in a position where we're perfect at all. He doesn't expect it.
Yes.
We just have to keep trying.
Yes.
And we fall down, and we keep
Yeah.
trying, and we fall down, and we keep trying.
Yeah.
And helping each other.
Mhm.
Association is the biggest thing with like-minded people. I mean, how do you feel when you're, you know, out in the world, you gotta be at school, you're gonna be with all these people, or you meet all these other people, it gets very difficult sometimes. And then you come here, and you're like, okay, there's somebody that thinks like me.
Yeah, I think we just need to just improve little bit, and Krishna sees that also. That is, we are improving.
He
also.
sees the good in us.
We all have,
Yeah.
you know, certain
Never tells them what to do.
disqualifications.
Yes.
Okay. Should we wrap up for today?
Yeah, it's close to 8, so.
Maybe you guys can start last week, sorry, next week, so that you can read. Yeah, maybe we should start from this side next week.
Yeah, we'll try it out there later.
Yeah.
And everybody will move over here.
O Lord, we pay our humble respects and obeisances to our Acharyas starting from Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Sri Six Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Srila Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Savi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Sri Balram Ji, Srimati Radharani, Narasimha Bhagwan and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. O Lord, you asked us to pray as Man Mana Bhava Man Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namastu Mam Naivashyasi Yuktvavam Atmalam Mat Pranay. Meaning, engage your mind always in thinking of me, offer obeisances and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. We know that you are taking care of all our material needs perfectly. Today we've come to pray for few things which we think are most important and would like to bring to your attention. For peace, progress and prosperity to all beings. For letting go of control, attachment and expectation. For self-love, self-care, compassion and kindness. Giving the strength to everyone navigating the tough market to overcome suffering. For Krishna's support in securing a good career. For achieving your good intentions and mission. For faith in your promise to always be with us in this age of Kali. For Krishna to watch over the devotees who are traveling. For the temples and devotees everywhere being attacked by the forest. For America on such a two-headed pain and pressure day to day, the country's birthday. Finally, we would like to get the prema bhakti or unalloyed love and devotional service to Srimati Radharani and to you. We ask all these in the name of Srimati Radharani. O Lord, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
right?
Yeah.
So I wrote out, once I got done, I wrote it all out as best as I could, how much I could. Yeah, and then that was it. This is for him. This came broken from Calcutta. You were so magnanimous, like, it was wonderful seeing the devotees there in New Georgia. You know, I got to go for a visit, and he was like, oh, it's good to meet your son, yeah, we'll just go with Santa. Yeah, tell him he was good. Oh, he wanted to take him away from me. I said, no, you can't have him.
Los Angeles.
He said, if you come back from Los
This is
Angeles.
after.
And there's his signatures, there are his signatures.
That's right after initiation.
No, that was after that, because I did his country really. I don't know what it's called now, but originally.
Good for them.
Yeah, okay. Originally, he was the head of it, and here's from him. He's very similar, you know, it's kind of disappearing here. But, see, the secret for Channing Japa is to start in the morning, because I was talking about how difficult it was. The way to get up early in the morning is by taking rest early. I can go to bed, you know. Yeah, and everything's like that. Here's the middle way, looking forward to different extremes. See, we were just talking about that. Krishna generally has a solution for our problems. And we are receptive to his will.
क्या है
See,
चलो?
how it is before.
कैसा रहा
So it was very, very special. These aren't Prabhupada's, these are Prabhupada's. No, I don't have Prabhupada's. I have them in one book. But no, I only saw Prabhupada in a lecture twice.
अभी दोस्त का शादी हुआ है उसमें लिया है
But I did, but here's
काफी मजा आया
one of my name and I'm trying to understand what it is.
वही चले गए थे हम लोग
Yeah, that's the
एक
original
नीचे
signature.
वहीं से फायर
Original book.
देख रहे थे
The Prabhupada had, and then they started keeping track of the same people, and then they'd say, well, they had so-and-so, and they, oh, okay, well, we had it there, you know, trying to keep it,
अरे
you know,
यार
and then-
शिट मिस कर दिया मैंने अभी नेक्स्ट टाइम पहले से बोला मैं खाऊंगी नहीं
And
दो
then somebody finally put it into a book. Yeah, we just, after a while.
चलेगा
What year did you get initiation?
Pardon?
What
कोई
year?
भी चलेगा कोई भी चलेगा जो तुम्हारा प्रेफरेंस हो तो दोनों ही बहुत है
Oh, no, 76, 76. No, 76.
Last year.
Yeah, that was on the year, which I was glad I did, because they told me, well, because they told me, he said, you're back in 6 months, so you can wait 6 months and the Prabhupada will be there for the ceremony. Or you can do it now and make sure you have it, and I'm so glad.
नहीं
that
होगा
with some other people.
बाकी चीज ले लो
ऑरेंज
अरे वो भी है दही भी है
हाँ वो सब डाल दिया
गुड और चिप्स भी है सब यही है
But I thought you would, I know you looked at
There is halwa too.
I know that ज़्यादा नहीं सही बात तो पहले से पता कर ली किस दिन बारिश होना
Yeah.
है
He's okay, it's just,
यहाँ तो रजिस्टर में कभी भी कुछ होता है अच्छा लगता है मतलब आज इतना धूप था oh my god जब हम लोग आए पसीना पूरा so bad so hot too much sunlight here Good. तो सैटरडे को डिसाइड करते हैं मतलब कल
मैंने बनाया तो अच्छा है कैसे साइड चलेगा
अरे नहीं वेदर कैसा है बोलिए आज नहीं है कल और परसों का दिखा रहे हैं लेट्स डू द प्रसाद पेड़ फास्ट 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 मेघा डू यू वांट टू डू प्रसाद पेड़ अरे कर लो ना कर लो तुम इतना अच्छा तो गाती हो बाकी शुरू कर लो
ठीक
भाई मैं बता रही हूँ कल मैं 8 PM को I was outside and it was so sunny, so hot. It was crazy. Like at 8 PM I'm like,
I was thinking that, but then I thought, well, you guys are used to the heat though, are you?
no,
But
now
No,
I'm
the
not
tolerance has gone down. I was
Uh-huh.
in DC and it was like so humid, and Mumbai is very humid. But we couldn't, like, all of us, we just couldn't bother to step out at, like, in the
No,
afternoon.
okay.
They don't step out. And for me, I'm from north, so we don't have.
You don't
hot.
have-
Mumbai has that
Yeah,
kind
we
of
have
weather, but
winter.
still.
Yeah, it's definitely,
Yeah.
it's definitely, as they say here, it's the humidity, not the heat.
Mm.
But we never used to get 90-degree and 95-degree.
I know it's global
When I was a
warming.
kid here, no, yeah.
Yeah, and nobody had AC. Now everybody has to have the AC
Yeah,
in their
that's
home. I know even in India there is a place called Bangalore,
Yeah.
which was so good. The weather was so pleasant. We never had to have AC.
Yeah.
You can really wear a thin jacket in any season. But now everybody has to have AC because there's so much pollution and hot
Yeah, that's
weather
part of
and
why, too.
so much population. Everything
Yeah,
combined effects.
Yeah.
She is becoming this healer, psychic reader, yogini.
I'm obsessed with this.
It is so good actually.
Now we know what to get her for her next birthday.
Yep, makes sense. Chalo, let's start Kartik.
महाप्रसादे गोविन्दे
Mahapasadi Govinde,
नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे
Nam Brahmani Vaishnave,
पुण्यं वसुन्धराजन्
Sarva Punyam Vatamrajan, Mataji? Is this Gopi Prabhu's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll give you
It
perspective.
doesn't change the sound?
Does.
Does it change the sound? No, this doesn't change the sound?
No, that is, it's this for
Thank you,
okay.
Mataji.
Oh,
I
okay.
really loved, enjoyed this.
No, I had a little one for a while.
Yeah, I want to learn rhythms actually from a long time, but it's hard. I was also talking to Balaram, if you remember, he's from Atlanta. He goes to Kirana days.
This is a beautiful one. See, the one I took was a small one.
Just one hand, can you?
I also want to correct.
So I actually not the work.
How much kind of, combine the two.
Oh, the vibration is so nice.
Lovely.
Does it work with water? Or
Yeah,
just water?
yeah, it does. Now hold it.
It changes the
Just
sound
keep
with
like,
water.
उसको stick करके रखो.
Oh,
Maybe
We
it's
can do
a
it. If I have to learn, maybe I'll have to do a video call. But in video call, yeah, YouTube. But I think how can will it be effective?
Close
Because
the
you
right
have to really see all the finger movement.
Even close my eyes.
Exactly.
I always wondered if there really was finger, you know, because it looks like they're just kind of hitting it like this, but they're not. Yeah.
There's lots of technique. Yes, see that every spot is different. Actually, of course, in person will be best, but if I don't find
Oh,
it,
I also
I might have to do that.
Yeah. I think the only way you might be able to find something is in a bigger temple, like.
Yes, exactly. I feel like,
I don't want you to move, so that's okay.
that's the thing, I don't want to move. But although my company allows me to work from anywhere. So if I'm only thinking about myself, I can move. But I really think about Rochester and the club. I try to
It's a
have
place,
a
India. It's a Buddhist center, Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah.
From that monastery, I got
Yeah.
Tibetan.
And Danish Prabhu also, he was doing like regular program every Sunday. I felt bad because one day he messaged that nobody is coming, so we are cancelling the program. So after that I didn't hear from him, but I'm going to reach out to him. I told him because it was 4th July, I was not here. I told after that I'll surely come.
Sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes, especially I told him the Sunday evenings is hard.
Oh,
If we
yeah,
can do
that would be
Saturday,
good.
that would be better
Yeah,
for us.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the gentleman that you went to go get on.
Mm.
These guys went.
Yeah, I think you guys also
No, I
got
agree,
some
I agree.
toys for the
But
kids.
good slow.
Yeah, he's Veda. His name is Veda.
That's right.
Yeah, he's
Very
very
fast.
cute. Yeah, I think you were not feeling well that day.
Yes.
Let me keep that box.
Would you like to try?
That's great. I love that.
This is like very peaceful if you think. Especially when we were combining the drums in this, it was
Yeah.
very nice.
Hey, I saw him.
Ooh, good job.
There you go.
I found it at the thrift store on my way here one day.
Maybe not for you. You want to talk about?
Yeah, I am reading. Yes, that's what we are doing class fast because we don't want to delay. You can put this on it. I know my mom likes it.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she likes it.
I forgot they were red.
I thought it comes easily.
Oh, this was somebody's phone. I'm sorry.
This is yours?
Yeah, I found it at a thrift store. Somebody was using it as a decoration. Just grabbed it. It's cool.
This type of like every brass pot.
Yeah, I think so.
And if we have like a bigger, then